Greetings, everyone. I should say season's greetings. Excuse me. Starting that stuff early. Okay, but this is our last live webinar of the year, webinar 53, and we're going to jump right to it. But I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving, a beautiful and blessed Christmas, and New Year's right around the corner. And so today's topic, okay, where's the share button? Is behind the three dots. Okay, so no problem. Today's topic is move into 2016. So we've been planning for 2016, 2026. Okay, that's 3 hours of sleep, right? Move into 2026. So we've been planning for 2026 since October, but we're down to the wire now. Less than a week to go in 2025. But if we've been on track, which a lot of you have been on track, we're getting into 2026 right in stride, on pace, on track. Alrighty, so the whole title, Move into 2026, Steady Mind, Strong Body. And, I love the M's. And so we're going to talk about mindset, muscle, mitochondria, minerals for midlife mobility. I think that's the most N's I've squeezed in there. So why could it feel hard? Like if you weren't really on pace with us, closing out and preparing for 2026 with no nonsense November, divine decisions December. But, just in general, many people feel stiffer, slower. I know the colder it gets outside, I tend to hibernate, but less confident in your bodies than you did a few years ago. There could be long hours of sitting, stress, old injuries that can stack up. And the result, tight joints, low energy, and a gap between how you want to move and how your body actually feels. So, okay, quick survey. Where do you feel the most limited right now? In your hips, in your back, in your knees? So A, hips, B, back. Go ahead and put it in the chat. C, knees, D, shoulders, or E, all of the above. Now, I should have put a none of the above because there could be some people that don't have any of these limitations, but most of us do. So, what is the motion gap? There's something called compensatory issues when it comes to motion. When one joint gets stiff or is in pain or doesn't function properly, other joints pay the price. So we're going to talk about mobility. And as we get older, we lose the ability to move through a full range of motion without pain, without compensation. And you got that, Tony? If key joints like the hips or the shoulders are stiff, other joints, the joint on the other side, or your knees, your ankles, your low back, they move more than they should, or they take more of the weight, bear more of the load than they should to keep you going. So over time, this compensation pattern raises the risk of strains, aches, overuse injuries. But the good news is it's not too late. Mobility work, and it is work, but we can restore a lot of the range of motion that we lose at any age. Okay, Quick survey number 2. Which movements have you started avoiding? A, getting off the floor. B, reaching overhead. C, twisting. D, bending. E, other. And you can type in the other in the chat, and we'll take a look at it. So why does mobility matter? Mobility is what allows us to do our daily tasks. Laundry, walking the dog, lifting groceries without pain or restriction. Mobility work reduces injuries. It improves your muscle activation. It improves your range of motion. It can reduce pain in your daily activities. It's also how you keep your independence and your confidence, not just counting your steps for aerobic benefits. You know, and this is just a short list. Mobility work has so many other values, such as your balance, such as your strength. I mean, just so much. All right, so here's a question. Think about all the things you do in life without even, without a conscious thought. You're gardening. I know some of you are. You're going up and down stairs. You're doing all kinds of things. Dancing, ballroom dancing, Irene. But what is one everyday activity that you want to keep doing 10 years from now? Because we are paving the way, just like we started planning for 2026 in October. We're planning for the next 10 years with what we do right now. Okay, so I got a great article for you from healthline.com. Shout out to Healthline. And it's called the 5-Move Mobility Routine that everyone over 40 should be doing. And I love this article. I'm going to come back to it a little bit, but because there's some things in this article that they were just too awesome to capture. But here are a couple of important things. Injuries, there are, the types of injuries that accompany low mobility, very important. Shoulder impingement, which is injury of the muscle or inflammation between the bones of your shoulder area. You might have heard of your rotator cuff. There are a lot of things that can happen in your shoulder. Pulled or strained muscles, decreased muscle activation, which leads to loss of strength and muscle mass. You've heard use it or lose it. It's never more true than in your muscle tissue. Muscle tears. And when we say muscle tears, that's also tendon or ligament tears, which are part of the overall muscle anatomy. Back pain, knee pain, neck pain. A lot of problems come along with limited mobility. So when you work on mobility, you decrease the risk of injury, you increase your quality of life, you increase your muscle activation. We're going to talk about that later. You improve your range of motion, and you reduce pain during your daily activity. So these lists are directly chosen or picked out from that article, and I will give you the link in the description. So today we're going to discover 3 movement secrets for 2026, and plus, I like a bonus, so we got a turbo boost bonus for our secrets today. Should have put the red Corvette right there. Okay, so before we get into the secrets, I'm DrLisa Singletary. Nice to meet you. And I'm known as the 100-pound weight loss specialist because I personally lost over 150 pounds, and that helped me to develop the framework, the 5 M's to total transformation: mindset, macronutrients, micronutrients, motion, which we're talking about today. So I wore the wrong color shirt. Ah, that's 3 hours of sleep. Sorry. And measurement. Because we want to empower you to achieve your optimal health goals. So today we're talking about motion, but a little bit of mindset too. We've been hitting mindset hard since November, right? But I am known as the 100-pound weight loss specialist. A lot of people ask me, are you really a doctor? Or what kind of doctor are you? I'm a medical doctor. I'm a family physician, now retired. I have a master's degree in public health, which is why I love all these research articles. And I'm a certified holistic health coach. And I'm passionate for your health transformation. I used a lot of muscles. I had a lot of activity going on. I had a lot of mobility going on in my ballroom dancing days. And talk about use it or lose it. In 2008, I stopped my medical practice. I stopped ballroom dancing to go home and take care of my parents. And 8 years later, I needed my father's wheelchair just to get around the house. I needed a miracle. And in health and wellness, we don't talk about miracles, so I'm not going to tell you I found a miracle, but I definitely needed one. But this slide is also my disclaimer slide. So this is educational content only. This is not a medical consultation. This is not a second opinion. Your insurance will not pay for me. I'm just sharing with you my knowledge, my experience, and my now frameworks to help you achieve your goals. And one of the secrets is the 90 essential nutrients. And this is actually part of my disclaimer because sometimes I'll talk about individual nutrients or individual minerals. Today, the M is for minerals. But I just want to be clear. I'm not telling you to go out and buy an individual bottle of minerals anywhere because we need 60 essential minerals, but 90 essential nutrients. So what I do, sometimes I highlight some of these essentials, but we need them all. We need all 90 essential nutrients every day. And just to highlight that word essential, you know when something's essential, that means you need it, right? But medically, in anatomy and physiology wise, the word essential means your body cannot make it. These are 90 nutrients that your body cannot make. So we have to take them in every day. And when I learned how to do that, something happened in my life. And when I turned 60, I decided, I remembered my weight all through the years because I've been on a diet since I was 6. And so, these numbers were just in my mind. So I decided to put them on a graph. And I was shocked that I was on such a trajectory. But something happened in 2015 that changed the trajectory of my life. And it helped me to go from the picture on the left to the picture in the middle in 8 months, and then still on the road with the picture on the right and beyond. Okay, so let's get to the secrets. So our secrets of mobility for moving into 2026. Number one is a steady mind. We talked about mindset the first week of this month, but we can't get away from it. So let's identify And oh, that's not good grammar. Identity, that's it. Identity and expectations that support movement. What do we mean by identity? Well, long-term change, short-term change, we can force ourselves or have willpower to do something. But long-term, our health journey has to be just who we are, not what we do. So, um, we're going to talk about some things you can say to yourself. So the attitude that I'm trying to fix myself, or I'm finally going to get control of this, or you know, just kind of highlights the negative, rather than saying I'm someone who moves every day. It's just who I am. I'm someone who eats protein and produce. It's just who I am, right? It's not something that we have to focus on what we do, but it's who we are. All or nothing thinking. If I don't have the perfect workout, forget about it. Or if I don't have a whole hour, forget about it. Remember, we've got the amazing tool of exercise snacking. Thank you, Coach Judy, for teaching us about exercise snacks. And if you do the right exercise, and we've talked about this, even a few minutes can make a difference when we're consistent. Motion is maintenance for your future self, not punishment for your past choices. So here's some statements we can think of. I am a daily mover. I'm someone that gets into motion every day. I'm rebuilding my strength. I create movement opportunities. We've talked about parking your car a little farther, or taking more trips, bringing in the groceries, or taking stairs instead of the elevator. Just little things in your daily way of walking around the earth where you can put in a little extra movement. Secret number 2, muscles are so important. Your muscle protects your joints, it protects your metabolism, it protects your balance. So important. So strong muscle is secret number 2. What are the key points? There's something called senescence. We don't talk about that much, but we have talked about it, and that is age-related muscle loss. It's a real thing, but you can fight it. Doing strength work helps to slow it or reverse it. So when you have more muscle, what do we have? We have better joint support. We have better blood sugar control because our muscles burn the sugar. They use the sugar as energy, as an energy source, as fuel. So we're burning calories. The more we burn our muscles, the more we move our muscles, the more calories we're burning. So when we combine strength work and mobility work, we're actually reducing the risk of strains and falls. And in that article, there are some amazing, kind of scary statistics about the effects of falls and how much of an impact falls can have and how many of us are impacted by them. So in the article, they go through 5 mobility moves, and the graphics of the article are amazing. So they have a GIF for each one of these moves to show you exactly how to do them. And that's the thing. I can't show you it's so good, but like do it on your desktop so you can see the full effect of the GIFs and how to perform each one of these mobility moves. So it has instructions on how to do it. It's really, really a helpful helpful article. But it also has this YouTube video about exercises you can do if you have limited mobility. So it doesn't matter where you're starting. What matters is you do start and you get consistent and your body's going to thank you. Secret number 3, mighty mitochondria. Motion builds energy instead of stealing it. So, you think after a workout, you're just tired, but you're also building your mitochondria. Let's look into that. So what are your mitochondria? Mitochondria are the energy engines that turn your food into ATP, which is we knew from our last quiz, the energy currency of the cell. It doesn't matter what you eat or how much you eat, your cells can't use what you eat until your mitochondria turn it into ATP, the change machine. So regular, moderate movements signals your body to build more mitochondria and to build better, more functional mitochondria over time. Now, the last slide when I talked about the if you're starting with limited mobility, you can't go from 0 to extreme like right away. You're going to backfire. We want to gradually increase your capacity. So that's why consistency is so important. And like I said, your body will thank you. So one of the fascinating things I think about mitochondria are this. A typical human cell has about 100 to 200 mitochondria, depending on what it's going to do. Now, some cells, your red blood cells, mature adult red blood cells, has none. So your red blood cells, they only do one thing. They carry oxygen around. That's the only thing they don't reproduce. They've ejected the nucleus, right, of the red blood cell. I talked about that earlier. That's how they get that donut shape. That's why they're thin in the middle, because they used to have a nucleus and all of the other components of the cell, but they said, nope, we get rid of that. All we can do is carry oxygen around. So no mitochondria. They're not creating energy. They just do their job until they die, which is about 4 months. They have about a 4-month life, 120-day lifespan. Okay. But you have cells that need more energy, like your liver. Your liver is a multitasker. It is doing metabolism all day long. And your muscle cells, you can have thousands of mitochondria in a muscle cell. And when you use your muscles, you can make more. Heart muscle cells are packed with mitochondria. They contain around 5,000 mitochondria per muscle cell because they don't get a break, right? So they are consuming energy and producing energy to be consumed immediately by the heart muscle. Amazing. So the big picture, everyday cells are like having a small engine under the hood. Your muscle cells, it's like having rows of high performance engines just ready to turn your fuel into energy and then into motion. And regular, consistent, smart movement can encourage your muscles to build your mitochondria, but also to upgrade the mitochondria. So your energy production is very efficient. Think about an engine on high octane fuel rather than low octane fuel. So this time next year, your body can feel very, very different. Your muscles will have very different mitochondria. They'll have awesome mitochondria. Okay, the bonus secret, sorry. is your mineral tune-up. So we need essential nutrients for strong muscles and steady nerves. And your nerves are what trigger your muscles to function. Without the nerves, the muscles don't work. So we can talk about them together. So minerals like magnesium, potassium, sodium, calcium, they're like the spark plugs for your muscle contraction, relaxation, and nerve signaling. Low intake or high loss, either way, if you're deficient in these minerals, whether you're not getting them in or you're sweating, you're under stress, certain medications cause your body to leak them out, urinate them out. This can show up as cramps, as fatigue, or restless legs. And supporting your minerals or supporting your muscles with minerals makes it easier to enjoy movement instead of fighting through. So what are some action steps for our minerals? Well, we talked about functional hydration, right? Sipping water throughout the day, especially between meals, because we don't want to dilute our stomach acid, but turning your water into functional water by adding electrolytes and other minerals, and especially paying attention to this if you've had an extra long work session or under extra stress. Mineral-rich foods, leafy greens, avocado, nuts, seeds, beans, gluten-free whole grains, mineral broths, bone broth, right? We think about that from collagen standpoint, but we can get a lot of minerals from a good broth. So that's the water, the food, and then we can supplement those 60 essential minerals to fill the gaps. All right, so what we've discovered today, the secrets: a steady mind, strong muscle, mighty mitochondria, and the mineral tune-up. So the mind, we're thinking who we are. Who are we? And we're going to just walk through life accordingly. Muscle, we've got that great article about the 5-move mobility routine. Mitochondria, we're learning how to nourish our mitochondria and how to stimulate them to be more efficient, and for your body to make more. And our mineral tune-up, from our hydration, our diet, and our supplements, we can support our strength, our stamina, and our recovery. Oh, okay. So I made a little gift for you, ChatGPT and I, and Canva. All right. We're all working together. And it's called Move into 2026. So I said, ChatGPT, can you take this information from this article and make a checklist? So we've got a checklist that you can keep track for a 2-week or 14-day run, right? So just to keep track and to get into all of these great habits, and you can get it. It's a free download. Just scan this QR code, and it takes you right to the download. I'm gonna probably put it into, something where I collect your email address eventually, but right now you can go right to it and grab it. Also, we're still in that festive season, so grab your holiday eating festive feast guide, and that's with this QR code, DrLisaSingletary.online/holiday. And I'll just give you a little second to take a snapshot, screenshot, or if you miss it, come back tonight and you can grab it when you see the replay. And we talked about the minerals, right? Or the 90 essential nutrients. How do you get them? How do you know? So there's a little quiz at the Health Hub, and you can see, okay, am I missing some of these nutrient categories, and how can I start on the road to getting complete nutrition? So this was the last webinar of 2025. You can see I changed the topic a little bit, but next week we're starting out 2026, and oh, probably because I never uploaded webinar 50, which is joy per bite. So I'm going to, between now and the end of the year, I'm going to upload joy per bite. And then next, which is webinar 50. And then next week, we'll be on webinar 54, which will be the first webinar of the 2026 winter season. All right. Now, if you are watching us from the replay, I want to invite you to join us live. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to do a little work on this, but I'm gonna keep the link and the QR code the same. I do have to make a whole new event in Zoom. So I'm glad you reminded me. Thank you. But I will make sure that the link is the same. drlisasingletary.online/live hyphen Zoom. And if you know the way we do it around here, the replay for this very webinar will be up on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Dr. Lisa Singletary, starting at 9 p.m. tonight. So every Saturday, the live Zoom is 11 a.m. Eastern, and then I do my little Zoom recording magic, video magic, and we load it up onto YouTube at 9 p.m. And I will be live in the comments with you for the premiere, which is the first showing on YouTube. Alrighty, but thank you so much for joining me this year. Wow. And we're just rolling on. The red Corvette's getting ready to ride. And I love you all. Have a wonderful holiday season and most amazing new year. And I'll see you 9 o'clock tonight. Love you all. Mwah.